Hey gang, it's JC and this is your daily dose for Wednesday, May 26th, 2010. A cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Archives features anytime here at JC on the Line. Just tell your friends. Everybody used to listen to the old show Where We Are. Sort of an inauspicious celebration here. My 26th anniversary of arriving here in St. Louis. We are not on the air right now. Still under contract until March of next year. The radio station said they were going to do everything they could in their power to find me a new job, and so far they've done well. So here we are making our mark here at jc'sdailydose.com. All right, New York City is going to get the Super Bowl, or as I should say, it's more like New Jersey, because it's that new Meadowlands structure, and the former president of your St. Louis Cardinals, Mark Lamping, instrumental in that whole project. But, you know, when you show up at a game, you like to think that it's your home field, and this is going to be home to both the Jets and the Giants, and you're probably figuring, well, that's going to suck. You're going to walk in, you're going to have some team you don't care about. They're doing the whole thing electronically. Big message boards, giant video screens all over the place, and they will throw a switch one way, and it'll be all Jets stuff, and then they'll throw the switch the other way, and it'll be all Giants stuff, and that's the way that's going to work. Will St. Louis ever get a Super Bowl? Yeah, come on, what do you think? What do you think? All right, Whitey's going into the Hall of Fame in July, and so is John Fogerty. For the first time, the people in Cooperstown are going to recognize a musician or a song. They've never done it before, and back in 1985, John Fogerty did center field, and they liked it, and so he's going in. No word, by the way, on the Gary Glitter song, boom, 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 boom. Hey, that guy's a child molester. I don't think they want him in upstate New York. All right, U2, their concert tour is done. As we told you yesterday, Bono had emergency back surgery last week, and that takes care of that. Meanwhile, San Diego Chargers safety Kevin Ellison arrested by police when they pulled him over in his car. He had more than 100 Vicodin pills in the car, or as Rush Limbaugh calls it, breakfast. Okay, the 2-hour series finale of 24 makes the Fox network officials actually look pretty smart, because it only pulled 8.9 million people, which is really nothing, especially in terms of season finales. Entertainment Weekly, in the meantime, came along with a list of the top 10 series finales ever, the best ones. Number 10, The Sopranos. I would have thought that would have been higher. Number 9, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, finishes ahead of the freaking Sopranos. Are you kidding me? The Shield, Lost at number 7. Stop it. Number 6, the final episode of MASH. Cheers at number 5. Mary Tyler Moore Show at 4. Saint Elsewhere is number 2. The Fugitive at 3. And number 1, Newhart. And I don't think you get too many people complaining about that part of the list. A friend of Mike Myers arrested by police. Mike Myers and his buddy were walking down the street, and some paparazzi, some photographer was driving him crazy. So the guy pulled out a hockey stick and started beating the photographer. Why Mike Myers and his friend are walking down the street with a hockey stick, I have no idea. He is Canadian. That's all I can make out of it. All right, we told you yesterday we were going to tell you about a new survey. The people at Women's Health magazine have come along with a list of all sorts of stuff, basically having to do with women and their appearance, and I guess you would say vanity. For example, 74% of the women admit that they constantly check out their reflection. 45% of women say they count calories. 35% say they go to the gym every day. 17% of women say they won't leave the house without perfectly manicured nails. 22% admit they still get regular beauty treatments even though they can't afford them anymore. 44%, by the way, admit that they wax down there. Overall, just 1 in 5 women say they feel confident about their body. Overall, 1 in 4 women say they would turn down a date with a guy that she liked, but if you got a zit, or you're feeling overweight, or you hadn't trimmed the hair downstairs, you would not go out on that date. See, as guys, we're always thinking, well, why would she go out with me? Why would she go out with me? What's wrong with me? And it might be because she didn't trim. It's unbelievable. All right, here we are. My daughter's last day of school is, I think, day after tomorrow. We got yearbooks coming out in high school. I still have my yearbook somewhere down in the basement. I kept it. We got a couple of yearbook stories here. K.C. Salter is a teacher in Knightstown, Indiana. It's near Indianapolis. Casey's contract won't be renewed with the school district next year. Casey is in charge of the school's yearbook committee, and apparently he was planning a pregnant girls section of the yearbook devoted to the 12 students who were knocked up. Casey's not coming back. Meanwhile, last Friday, yearbooks were distributed in a high school near Fredericksburg, Virginia. That's near Washington, D.C. Ordinarily, the distribution of high school yearbooks didn't make the headlines, but this one's a little different because somebody came up with a bright idea to collect anonymous confessions from their classmates and print them along with their pictures. For example, I have sex with people just to feel wanted. I worry all the time my ex-boyfriend will use the naked picture I sent him to ruin my life. Or, I'm pregnant with my best friend's boyfriend's kid. School officials immediately stopped production of the yearbook. What a surprise there. All right. Philip Michael Thomas is 61 today. I was driving along yesterday and I heard Smuggler's Blues on satellite radio. Philip Michael Thomas played Ricardo Tubbs, Rico, on Miami Vice. You know, every few years, a television series does seem to come along that really gets ingrained into the culture, where it's not just, well, everybody's watching, everybody likes it, but people start dressing like the people on the show. And that was certainly the case with Miami Vice, with those rolled-up sleeves and the non-earth tones. And it never would have occurred to me to wear dress shoes without socks before I saw Don Johnson do it. Michael Mann with a very highly stylized show. You had good-looking guys playing the cops, good-looking women. You had good music. Glenn Frey, we talked about that. Fashion, we talked about that. You had rock stars like Phil Collins and Frank Zappa, in some cases doing the first acting, really, that they ever done in their lives. And this show was on Friday night. People were staying home on Friday night to watch a television show. That's remarkable. And somebody might say, well, you know, there's a couple of stations now that are running reruns of Miami Vice, and all the stuff looks dated and it looks really funny. It's like, well, what from the 80s that we look at now doesn't look funny? It was a good show, and we got another birthday here today I got to talk about, and that's Eddie Albert. He died on this date in 2005. He was 99 years old. The man was living right up there in Minnesota. I had a chance to meet Eddie Albert a couple of times. I loved Green Acres. And the story that he told me was about Arnold the pig. And Arnold Ziffel would run over and always change the channel on the TV set. And I said, how did you get him to do that? And they said that the trainer had a little clicker, and they took a piece of soft candy and wrapped it sort of around the clicker of the TV. So what would happen is Arnold would come into the room onto the set there, and they'd have the TV on with like a show playing, and then the trainer would go tick, 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 and Arnold would hear that, and he was trained to run over to the TV and chew the piece of candy off the knob, and then the station would change, because they had a pig offset, actually change the channel. But Eddie Albert, he was a cool guy, I really liked him. Like I said, got a chance to meet him a couple of times. All right, JC's Eye Candy today. We got a local TV reporter doing a story about how easy it is to break into a car, and he has a little difficulty. Let's just leave it at that. You can check that out. JC's Eye Candy is right below what you're looking at right now. We have a new video village this week, and it's from 1998, a news report from Channel 4 when I was on without facial hair. And a little blast from the past, you'll see Julius Hunter and also Miriam Wright was the anchor person, but very few pictures or videos of me without facial hair. You'll see it there. The Wayback Machine goes back for an old Trish Brown weather forecast on Channel 4. You want to talk about some messed up hair. All right, tomorrow, also don't forget Not Necessarily the News starring Chris Carpenter this week. All right, tomorrow, the 10 things Americans say they can't live without, and also which country's women have the best bodies. And yes, we are talking sweater meat. All right, so that's it. The Daily Dose for Wednesday, May 26th, here at jc'ontheline.com, a cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.